If you are watching this video, you must be warned. You will fall in love with this man. Look into his dark eyes and think to yourself, man, Jon will be pissed that I ate all of his lasagna again. This is, in fact, the first line in the Bible's Genesis, but it is also an obstacle that our hero Garfield constantly faces. Is lasagna the eighth deadly sin? Does it push all of what we know off of the edge of our planet? That is what I am here to talk to you about today. Firstly, we must begin at the invention of the lasagna. The first ever record of lasagna was found in a recipe book dating back to the 14th century. It is a delectable dish that originated in Italy, Europe. Okay, now that we have that covered, we may move on to the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins originated in Europe too, so you can already see the obvious resemblance. The 7 deadly sins are known as the capital vices, and they all revert to one common value: desire. Have you ever seen a lasagna and not had at least one serving of that sweet noodle cake? No. Now, how can this very desirable dish be a sin? Well, it all comes down to the big cat man himself. He must apologize to the Jon. He is repenting his sin and has no control over it. As much as he may want to resist the lasagna, he cannot. He must pay for it, and he does. How, you may ask? Eternal hell. The Garf cannot die. He lives long and painful life in an inescapable 2D panel under the reign of the Jon. As much as Garfield may want to die, he is incapable of doing so. This is seen in many instances, one of them being his attempt at death through tobacco poisoning, and his many attempts at death through over-ingestion. Garfield's entire existence is pain, and we watch him suffer in his two-dimensional life as we ha-ha at his antics. Garfield expresses his suffering through the harming and creation of general uncomfortableness of Odie. He is stuck in a never-ending cycle of domestic abuse with Odie, and because Odie is his one release of frustration, you can see Odie suffering alongside Garfield. This does not mean that Garfield does not love Odie though, because his love for the dog is clearly displayed in many of the comic panels. It's just an odd symbiotic relationship between the two. All of this leads me to speak about the Jon. We do not know what the Jon is. He may be a prophet of God, or he may be God himself. We can't know, and we never will. Jon is the presence of pure beauty and pain, life and death, misery and joy. Jon is one and all is Jon. The Jon is the center of the universe, and he forces the Garf and the odor to resonate around him. We love Jon because Jon is in all of us. From the soft corduroy texture of his astonishingly fat loafers, fat with a PH, obviously, to his curly brown hair and dark, empty eyes, he signifies what we have inside of all of us, and much like Garfield, it's lasagna.